fair. Also realize that seldom does no mean no forever. Sometimes no mean, I've had so many kids say, no, I can't go to camp, and I've asked them a few times, and I figured they're pretty serious about it, and so I backed off. I backed off for maybe a month. And then I asked them again, and they, about a month later, and they go, yeah, I can go now. But they said no. I will tell you that many times we leave kids on the table because we don't ask them that one time because we think no means no forever. Some kids think if they told you no once or they've missed the camp sign-up date, even some of you will have camp sign-up dates in March. Does that mean you can't sell after March? I mean, we know that obviously, but I had a kid, no kidding, that I talked to at the end of April, and he thought that because he missed the camp sign-up date on March 15, that he couldn't go to camp. And I'm thinking, you're an idiot. I mean, I didn't say that because I really don't believe in the shame and change like, sorry, fine, principles. That's an inside joke for you people that are, but on the tape, I don't know how to speak in front of the tape. I guess what I'm trying to stumble around is never assume. Okay, here's a novel one. When you're praying, ask God who should go to camp. Ask God to put people in your minds. I did that once, and God gave me a name of a kid named Bill. Or somebody did, I don't know, a name of kid. Bill popped into my mind, this kid. He hadn't been to club. He hadn't been to I hardly even knew him. But I go, well, okay, what do I do with this? Well, what's it going to risk? What's it going to hurt if I call? So I call, hey Bill, this is Chris Patterson, the Young Life leader. And he said, yeah, I know you. And I said, well, we're taking this Young Life trip to Castaway. It's in Minnesota. And I was wondering if you'd be interested in going. This kid who I hardly knew said, let me check with my mom. Yeah, she said I could go. I'm going, okay then, great. And I hung up and I go, that kid was so far off my radar screen, but it wasn't off of God's radar screen. Give God a chance to talk to you. Expect him to. Okay, there are rhythms in asking. I'm looking at my time here. It's in pretty good shape. Well, not really. Okay. I'm not going to talk about the rhythms of asking kids except to say this. There will be times when you guys will meet together in a strategy session and you'll pray and you'll talk about who's going to ask which kids to camp. And then for about 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to hit it hard and ask them to go. And then your team leader and I and everybody else is going to give you permission to step back for about a week and take a break. Because it can wear you out to ask a kid every day. But as much as it wears you out, it wears those kids out. I mean, when you're walking down the hall and the kids are hiding from you and kind of going, you know that you're probably asking a little too much. And so what you need to do is back off a little bit, but this is just temporarily. And then step up again. And I want to talk a little bit about strategy sessions. But before that, I want to say one thing about asking kids to go to camp. When's the last time you asked a kid to go to camp? I mean, when is the very last time? So let's say the bus leaves on August 1st. When do you quit? When do you quit?
Before you get on the bus.
Actually, August 2nd may be the right answer, but because I heard somebody that picked up a kid along the way. But yeah, here's my. Are you willing to sell camp Are you willing to pursue kids right up to the point where the bus pulls out? I don't know what you guys do the first thing you do when you get on the bus once you sort of get settled. But I typically cry a little bit. Because there's typically always a kid that I didn't get. It just makes me so mad, and it makes me so frustrated. And then I know God's in control, and I take a deep breath, and then I pray and praise God for the kids that are on that bus. But I give myself permission to weep for the kid that I didn't get on. Are you willing to weep for kids? Are you willing to have the first thing you do on the bus is to cry for just a tear and then focus? There will be a time with some kids that you're going to need to give up for that season. She's got a good reason. He's got a good reason. They're not going to go. When you do that, give up with grace and graceful. And know this, that kid will be watching how you treat him or how you treat her when you come back from camp the next year. And if you don't have much to do with that kid again, shame on you. Because that kid will go, I was a number. I was just somebody filling their bus goal. But if that kid is somebody you continue to pursue and you continue to love and you continue to have a relationship with, then you've done things right. We got a little more time. Getting kids to camp is like putting together a jigsaw puzzle. What's the first few things you do when you put together a jigsaw puzzle? Talk to me. Wait. Look at the picture. What?
Corners and edges.
Edges, corners. What else?
Colors.
Yeah, you kind of sort the colors together, right? So what's the picture well, I'll tell you, I won't make you guess because we don't have enough time. You're doing good. The picture is a strategy session you're going to have with you, your fellow leaders, and your key campaigners and key second-timers. And you're going to get together and you're going to make lists of who do we want to go and how are we going to get them there. And what are the obstacles that there are, and I'm going to give you a strategy sheet when you leave, so that'll be explained a little bit better. But you're going to strategize, even strategize on who who's going to ask who. I mean, like I had a sophomore guy and he was a neat kid. But he was convinced that it was his responsibility to ask these 3 senior girls to go to camp. And I said, well, probably not. Why don't you let their female leader do that instead of... But then this other one thought the same thing, and he asked him to go, and he came back with their deposits. So don't underestimate kids. The strategy session, as I say, we will talk about who we're going to ask, how we're going to ask them, and we'll do a lot of praying during it. Every kid needs to be prayed for during the strategy session. That gives us the picture. So we've got the picture up there. Then we do the border. What is the border? Low-hanging fruit. Who would you consider low-hanging fruit to be as far as getting kids to camp?
Club kids.
Club kids, which club kids? The ones in the back?
Front row.
No, the front row. Oh, I love Young Life, everything, Young Life. Oh, that's low. Boy, get those kids signed up. That's a good border. And the reason that it is because you need numbers to start out with so that later on you can say, this trip is filling up fast. Now, what's some other low-hanging fruit? What grade would you say with low-hanging fruit would be?
Freshman.
Freshmen know nothing. They think that, they think that if it says you have to turn your deposit in by March 1st, they'll go home and say, Mom, you gotta do this, it's March 1st, and they're so enthused. I love freshmen. I love freshmen. They will fill out the border and actually kind of move a little bit of it in. Then the next thing we have are these color-coded pieces, or these key pieces. You ever find a piece that has like 3 different colors on it, and then you look at the picture and you go, oh, this, boy, we're gonna put all this together. I mean, that is a key piece. A key piece in getting kids to camp is a strategic kit.